Okay, now I want to talk about how I end up picking a deck for whatever client that it is that I'm going to be working with, or unless of course the client is myself. But I'm going to do another video on how to do readings for yourself. So anyway, if I have a client coming, a lot of times I will start to see the deck in my head that I need to use, or 2 decks or 3 decks, but there'll always be like that first one, right? So like I'll just see an image of it in my head and just practice and see, like, when you have a question about something, you know, ask yourself what deck would be good for that energy, and you'll see if you see it in your head. And this was something I started noticing I started doing a while ago, and then I was like, wait a minute, I'm not paying attention to my inner TV screen. It's showing me what deck I need to use, right? Another thing that I do is I will look at all the decks, and I made this like leaning tower of decks here. And so what I'll do is I'll just kind of, here, let me move this. So I'll just kind of like scan the energy and notice what I notice, and then I will see my energy stop on a particular deck, right? I'll just kind of feel, you know, which deck it would be. Another thing you could do maybe is like move the energy of your hand, right? So if your hand could move out further and it was energy, and just allow the energy of your hand to move through each deck, and allow it, when it's attracted to a certain energy, allow it to just stop and be like, oh, it's that deck, right? So a lot of times when I'm looking at the decks, I'll just, as I scan them, I'll just know I'm like, oh, it's that one and that one, right? Or I can just, let me think. Now I've got to think and explain like how I do this. I guess what I'm doing is I'm feeling which deck that it is as I'm moving my awareness and like looking at each one. I'm feeling them as I'm going through them, and that's how I know which one it is. Like, oh, I feel a hit, it's this one. Oh, I feel a hit, it's this one. Okay, so you'll have to play around and see which you like more. Do you see it in your head, or do you just kind of scan the decks with your eyes and feel which one it is? Do you energetically move your energy through the decks and then feel which one it is that way? And then another thing that you can do, if you're like really visual, maybe you're not much of a feeler, you're like, and you don't really see them in your head, but you're super visual, you can ask yourself, okay, you know, angels and guides, light up the deck that is the one that I need to use, right? So that deck can be more sparkly and more light, like it's giving off a light, okay? Another way you can pick a deck is you can ask, like, let me think how to put this. You can see like a little angel or a little fairy and ask them which deck is it, and then watch which one they fly to, and that's the deck for you, right? So I do that one sometimes, usually because I'm such a feeler, I just feel which deck that it is. But sometimes it's kind of fun to like see a fairy and ask the fairy which one is it, and then visually watch and see where it goes, okay? So that's how I pick a deck, and I hope that was helpful for you all. Go ahead and let me know in the comments if you guys do the same thing, if you do something different, what your favorite way to pick a deck is, and I'll see you in the next video. Alright, bye.